Good afternoon, Flosstube. It is the first day of September, and I am finally back after being away over a month. Part of that time I was out of town, but it's been kind of busy when I got back. Happy beginning of fall to those of you who live in the Northern Hemisphere. If you live in the United States, you know we are coming up on Labor Day weekend, which means Monday off work for a lot of people, a nice 3-day weekend. And the last time I visited with you, I was telling you about our triple digits here in my state of Texas and our drought. We are now 10 inches better than we were in that we had a deluge about a week ago on a Monday, and our temperatures are in the low 80s, at least today, maybe tomorrow. So a new and quite improved outdoors here where we live. It is also the beginning of school for many people, and just that time of year when you're still tired from the dog days of summer, but you're excited for the new semester or the new season, whatever is going on in your life. I hope this finds you well. This is a channel about cross stitch. My name is Sharon, and if you've never been here before, welcome. To all those who have been before, thank you for being patient. I'm so glad to be back. No book recommendations today, but I'm working on a new mystery series, and after I've listened to the second one, I'll let you know what I think. So just cross stitch today. I have 2 finishes, which were also 2 new starts since I've seen you. And then we want to talk just briefly about Sampler September, and then I have another new start that's just gotten underway, so this may be a short video. I'm also hoping to upload a short onto YouTube, which was filmed while I was still visiting my daughters with the fully finished birthday gift that I had done for one of my daughters. Now, I've never uploaded a short, so we'll see how that comes out. But if I do get that up on the internet, I want to tell you who designed the project you're going to see. The one that I made is this one here. Gather the threads of your life and stitch them into joy. And it is by Sue Hillis Designs. And this particular booklet is called A Study in Blue. So if you see that short and you take time to watch it, you'll know that it's Sue Hillis Designs, A Study in Blue. And it's one I want to stitch again because I loved the way my daughter helped me finish it, and I think it would be such a sweet, sweet gift, and also a sweet reminder here in her own home. So let's jump right into the 2 finishes. As I said, they were also new starts, and they are smalls. I don't do as many smalls as I used to, but for the last month or 2, smalls have really been calling to me, and my big projects have languished. So these are 2 new pieces that I also finished. One is an older Lizzie Kate, and this came in a little package with the fabric in it, and you're going to see the fabric. It also had beads and a little charm, and I'll show that to you. But this is called Flora McSample Heart Sampler. And I got the whole package in the clearance bin at my needlework store, the Stitch Niche, so that was a lot of fun. So of course I had to stitch it. The fabric, if you can tell in this lighting, it almost looks blue, but it is a green. And this is linen. I'm pretty sure it's 32 count, but it was in this package. And busy hands make happy hearts. I love, love, love that sentiment. So, you know, people, I had meant to bring you the colors that I substituted, but I don't think this is going to stress anyone out. If you want to stitch this and you can get your hands on it, I just know the fabric came in the kit. Let me just see if it tells me. Okay, it was 28 count, and it's called mint green casual linen. That's what we stitched this on. But I did sub out a couple of colors. It had called for DMC or anchor. And if I did not have the DMC or the anchor, because I don't have a lot of anchor, I did sub out some overdyed threads, but most of it is what the kit called for. I'll try to point that out. So the hands are stitched with an overdyed floss, you can tell that, as are the hearts in the hand. And then I also, let's see, right here, these little motifs are also done with that same lighter overdyed here. And I believe everything else is as called for. But you can see that the flower has the little beads, and then the basket has the little charm. My plan is to do this as a long pillow for my little stitchy room, which is also a guest bedroom. We'll see how that ends up happening. I want to find a really bright and cheerful backing fabric. So I don't know, but this was such a fun and rather quick stitch. Just loving the pink house and that yellow bird up on the tree. Fun, fun. Lizzie Kate. We all love Lizzie Kate. Okay, my next finish was a stitch along that I did with our friend Natalie. If you have not checked out her Flosstube, please go look up Home Sweet Home Handmade. Guys, she has so many beautiful whips and finishes and the delightful British accent. So Natalie, thank you for letting me join you on this sheep sow. And we got it finished so quickly. We are trying to start another sow, but I'm going to let her announce that for 2 reasons. It's her sow, and I don't have my pattern yet. So hopefully we'll hear from her soon. But Natalie, we together have stitched Jardin, Prive's Histoiries de Moutons 4. Now, I don't speak French anymore. I took it in high school and college. But it's History of Sheep, and this is part 4. This is what we stitched. And I would love to get Histories of Sheep 1, 2, and 3, but I have not done that. This designer is Natalie Quichon. Am I saying that properly? And if you look on the back of this, I may have shown you this before. Those are the other parts to this series. So someday I will definitely get those. But my finish on this one is done on the called for fabric, which was Vintage Country Mocha. But the pattern called for Ada. I have done mine on 32 count. Y'all, I wonder if this is even weave. This does not look like linen, but it is Vintage Country Mocha for sure. And this fabric was graciously gifted to me by our friend Mary at Mary Cat Stitches. I know she's still on Instagram. I don't know that she's doing Flosstube anymore, but Mary, when you sent me that giant package of wonderful stitchy goodness, this was the first piece of fabric I pulled out to use, and it was, if you look at it, the perfect size. So thank you, Mary. I did not get your permission to bring that up online, but thank you, and you'll see how perfect your fabric was. So here is the Jardin Prive. And I mean, this stitch was lickety-split fast and so addicting and so much fun. Every time I look at it, I have a different favorite part. Of course, the house. We keep doing pink houses, right? And the bees and the beehive. But right now, today, I think my favorite part is the stitcher with her spinning wheel. And then the way those flowers show up with the white picket fence, but the sheep. Oh my goodness. This one I will definitely, I hope, get framed. That's the plan. So that I could group those together. That would be fun. So, 2 smalls done. Now my third small is not quite a finish. And when I left you last month, well, that was in July actually, I had said that I was going to take this one on my trip, which I did. And this is my 4th season by Rosewood Manor to complete. And I am so close, but it is not quite there. The holdup, and I don't think you can see it on the screen, but were the stitches here that are called cluster blocks. I'm hoping you can see it on my actual piece. No matter what I did, I couldn't think I was doing it properly. So I finally took it down to the stitch niche and asked Miss Kim to do a cluster block for me. And I'm not sure it was a stitch she had ever done before. But the way I had conceived in my mind to do it is the way we agreed was correct. And I'm hoping you can see. But that just took me forever because I could not figure it out. I don't think you're going to be able to see those blocks. They're in the basket. Oh, for a good camera. If you have really good eyes, you may be able to see that there are, it's like almost a basket weave. There are vertical and then horizontal every other block. And there are how many rows of those? 2 rows. So once I got those done, all I have left will be the smaller motifs to fill in the rest of the picture. But the colors are so rich and beautiful. And I may have said this before, this is not what you would think of as a typical winter palette. But Karen Kluba always has the most amazing color choices. And if you remember, these are House of Embroidery threads from South Africa. So they are variegated. But I just love it. Very close. Hopefully when I see you next, it will be finished. Mostly we have motif here to fill in. And then, of course, here across the top. And maybe a few little small things in between. This is also a mystery fabric in a mauve pink that was gifted to me. 28 count even weave. So I'm doing 2/2. You know, I didn't tell you about any of those. Let's see, was everything 2/2? Yes, everything was 2/2 so far. So winter hopefully will be another small soon finished, although there is a lot of stitching in those seasonal pieces. They are smalls and they're not that time consuming, but there are a lot of stitches. My last new start, which is barely started, is one that I have drooled over every time I went in the needlework store. It's called Needles Dance. They had the model up in the store. And I finally broke down and bought not only the pattern, but the called for fabric in the blue and the specialty floss. But I have my gift card. Remember, my family gave me the retirement gift card. So I started this one. Let's see, did I start it when I got back from my trip? I think I did. And the only problem is that it is on dark fabric. So it is not easy. Let me put this behind it. It is not easy to see where you're stitching. And I had a little bit of a dilemma trying to decide whether to use 1 strand or 2. This is 32 count. And I should know the name of this. I didn't bring it, but we will talk about that next time. But after doing a little sample 2 strand down here, this is 1 strand up here. With 2 of my daughters giving opinion, decided 1 strand on this particular 32 count was much prettier. And I think maybe once it's dyed, it makes those holes seem smaller. I'm not sure about that process. But this is the beginning of the middle, I guess. Let me show you where we just Well, it's this border, this little motif right across here. I think I'm on this side. The colors are absolutely gorgeous, but anyway, that's all I've done on that. But I really want to get this one done because it would be a precious framed focus piece, I think, or focal point, maybe I want to say. This was a collaborative effort between Summer House Stitchworks, Ink Circles, and Hands-On Design. And it's several years old, I think. It's not a new one, but I've enjoyed it from afar, so I finally bought it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Sampler September. I do want to work on some of my samplers. It is important that I do so. So I pulled the two that I'll plan to work on the most, and I hope my plans happen. I really hope they do. You know that I'm loving working on my newest sampler, which is A Savior's Praise, which was also a gift from my family. And I had worked this section of the border and the lady, and I was about to start this big basket. Well, I have not done any of this. This has not come out since I got back from my trip because obviously I was doing all those. But let me just hold this up again to refresh your memory. It is on 36 count. And always fun to stitch. So I'm jumping right back into this one. And when I show it to you again, I'll do my best to remember to have all the details for you. So A Savior's Praise will be one sampler we'll focus on. And then I really need to pull back out the old Scot by Hands Across the Sea because I have the beautiful silks, which sadly I could not put my finger on. I know the storage area in which I have put them, but I cannot find the bag. Don't tell my husband. I need to find them right now. But anyway, I haven't done any work on this since the last time you saw it. But when I pull this out, people, oh my word, why have I not finished this gorgeous piece? So here we are. This is that border. Well, no, it's not the border. It's the flowers on the bottom half of the sampler. And then I had done two of the little motifs across the middle. Excuse me. There we go. There's the bird. I mean, I cannot. These colors are so rich and beautiful. And it's been a good stitch. I've been very careful because I want to not waste the silks. But I think if I give this some time in September, it will push me to do more. So Hands Across the Sea, the old Scot. Those will be the two I will hopefully focus on. If I pull out another sampler, I don't even know which one it would be. So I'm not even going to think about that. I'm just going to commit the next couple of weeks to these two and see how that goes. I did work all this week on Russian windows from Owl Forest. It's in my hoop right now, and I didn't take it off and bring it to show you. So what I think I'll do is let that be my work that's not a sampler that I do in September and see if I can get some more progress on that. And I'll show it to you very soon because it's just relaxing stitching. The floss is already variegated. I'm doing 1/2 on 36 count. And I've done a couple of small motifs, and I've started on one of the large other windows from the one in the middle that I had finished. So yes, I do want to keep working on that. Some of the other plans we talked about last video have not been accomplished. But I think that's the story of my life. If I tell you I'm going to do it, Sometimes that's the kiss of death, and I don't even think about doing it. And I think that's terrible. But I'm going to do better for September and work on these samplers, hopefully. I do have one small piece of haul, and then we'll talk about the giveaway that is not going to happen today, but it's going to happen next video. This was a little clearance piece that I found when I was there asking about those cluster blocks. And I want to do this for one of my daughters as well as for my oldest granddaughter. I've never heard of Cherry Hill Stitchery, but look at this. Pink. Pink is more than a color, it's an attitude. Now that fits those two girls to a T. And at the bottom it says pink is an attitude. So this was published way back in 2013, and this says Cherry Hill Stitchery is out of Pleasant Grove, Utah. But I'm telling you, this has to happen. Now, one of my daughters said she wants it all in pinks, which makes sense to me. This is done in pinks and blues. But for the granddaughter, we'll have to ask her which she prefers. Or in her case, I may just do it in the same pinks and just let them enjoy. And definitely a little pillow, I think, for this. Isn't that fun? Love it. Guys, I hope your September is wonderful, and I thank you for being here today and for your patience with me when I just disappear because life happens. It's just been a lot. There have been a lot of things going on in the extended family and a lot of home things that needed to be dealt with. And, you know, that's just the way it goes. Since I had bumped over 1,500 subscribers, I definitely want to do a giveaway. And I have two charts that I want to share, but I did not organize myself well enough to bring them today. So next video, which will hopefully be mid-September, I will show those, and you can let me know which of them you want or both, and there will be 2 drawings, and I'll send those out to you. So promises that will happen next video because I really appreciate you all, and I want to give back just a little something. One of the charts that I finished, just something you may enjoy stitching. Again, check out our friend Natalie, Home Sweet Home, handmade, and let's get together again soon. I'm going to put in as many stitches as I can so I can come show you my progress, and I will also let you know about the new mystery series that I'm jumping into that a friend recommended. I want to listen to the second one before I recommend it to you guys. So far, I enjoyed the first book, but the language is a little more than I prefer, as you know. So I'm going to see how that goes in the second one. Otherwise, take care, and I'm sending love from cooler and wetter Texas. Rain coming the rest of the week into the weekend, so we are grateful. Have a great weekend. Love from Texas.